So last week's video was our lemon and herb grilled chicken, which is absolutely delicious. We will link that video to this one here above and below. And as you saw in that video, our grill was completely filled, which led us to this video here, which is what we do with our leftovers. It can be such a daunting question, but there is so many easy answers, especially with chicken. So let's see what we got. All right, leftovers, meal one. So this is what we got. Quite the haul here. So I'm gonna make myself breakfast with a little bit of the sausage and potato patties, because like they're terrible just reheated. They're just like soggy and gross. And I'm gonna mix a little bit of egg, and I'm also gonna chop up some of the leftover grilled pepper and probably sprinkle on a little bit of broccoli just to get some extra veg in. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm gonna get these potato patties frying up in a little bit of butter first, just to help crispen them up before I throw everything else in. So we've got our potato patties frying up here. They'll just take a few minutes to crispen up while I'm gonna chop up some of the other veg. And if you didn't have potato patties, you could just use regular like frozen hash browns. They only take a few minutes on the stovetop, and they actually come up quite crispy when you just fry them up in a little bit of butter. Put on a little bit of seasoning. This is what we're throwing in here. So now I'm gonna top this. Doesn't look like much yet. Looks much better. Oh, we're almost out of pre-grated cheese. Do you pre-grate your cheese, or do you buy grated cheese? I don't like bought grated cheese, but I love to have some on hand. So I'm gonna put a little bit of cheese on top of this. And then these eggs, I'm gonna do my best to keep these yolks intact, and we're gonna put them over top and then break the yolk when you eat it, and it makes it almost like a really nice creamy sauce over your breakfast bowl. Hey, do you need help with something? Or you just want to see what Mom's doing? And now's our moment of truth. Oh, that turned out quite well. It doesn't look like much on camera here, but I'm telling you, once we break into these yolks, it just gives such a nice texture to this bowl with the crispiness of the hash browns and the saltiness of the sausage, and you get a little bit of sweetness from the peppers. There's a little bit of broccoli in there too. It really is delicious. Meal number 2 is stir fry, and ain't nothing easier than stir fry when you've got some good leftovers. So I'm going to use some of this chicken, a raw carrot, some store-bought sauce, and this Power Green blend, which is fantastic for stir fries. Everything is already sliced and diced up. There's a lot of nutrients in this little bag, and whatever leftovers you have really freeze easily. So I'm going to get my rice going while I dice the chicken, and really I'm using 2 pieces of chicken breast here, but in all reality it's only 1 chicken breast since we sliced them in half when we originally grilled them. And I'm using the plain chicken breast, not the herbed chicken. So I'm going to get my Power Greens going in a hot pan with a bit of oil, stir them up, put a lid on. They really only take about 5 minutes until they are softened up. And remember, the leftovers of those freeze really well. So once your rice is cooked, mix it in with your veg, dump your sauce on top, which I don't have footage of apparently. Then I'm going to throw in my diced chicken, No need to heat that. The dish itself is going to get it nice and hot enough. And then I'm going to take my raw carrot and my peeler and just peel this carrot into the stir fry. This is a really, really nice flavor. It cools off the seasoning a little bit that I use, since it does have a little bit of kick, the sauce, and just adds a really, really nice flavor. It adds a little tiny bit of a crunch since it's just peeled. This is a really great meal. It comes together so quickly, and really you can use whatever sauce you want. And it doesn't look like much on camera, but it's delicious. Okay, so this time we are on to meal number 3 now. So I'm gonna take the rest of the leftovers that we have of the chicken and sausage and make some delicious, oh, granola, you're in the way, stuffed peppers. Now this one, whoa, stay. I really love this one because you can make a little bit go a long way with stuffed peppers, depending on how much rice you make or whatever other filler you want to use for your stuffed peppers. So, oh, well, isn't this convenient? So it looks like don't even have nearly as much as I thought I did, because it was Canada Day yesterday and Jake needed lunch for work. So we are down to what is realistically here half a chicken breast and 1 sausage. And I'm still gonna make this into a delicious stuffed pepper meal tonight with not a lot of effort, but a lot of flavor. Last night's stir fry was absolutely delicious, and what I just thought that I would mention is that was actually a serving for 4. Jake had 2 huge bowls for dinner, and I mean, like, our bowls are literally mammoth. Like, look at this, it's the size of my head, right? And I had 1 bowl for dinner, and then I had a lunch the next day. And the kids just basically had like a deconstructed stir fry. So they just had their chicken and veggies and rice all separate with no sauce, because, you know, kids. So today we are going to take this little bit that's left and make our last meal, which is going to be stuffed peppers. Okay, so our peppers are ready, our meat's all chopped up and ready to go. I have some leftover rice from the stir fry meal that we made the other night, and then I have some cheese here that's already grated, because already grated cheese just makes life a little bit easier. And then I have some leftover salsa here. And this is kind of what made me want to make stuffed peppers with our leftovers, is I had some leftover rice and I got an open jar of salsa. And like, how long does salsa stay good in the fridge? I don't know. So let's just use it instead of throwing it out, which is kind of the theme for this whole leftovers video is, you know, a lot of the times it doesn't taste good to just heat up your leftovers and have the same meal 1, 2, 3 nights in a row maybe. But if you can easily turn it into a whole different meal, then it doesn't feel like leftovers anymore. I'm being called. Mommy. Yes, my unicorn.
If we watch the whole season of Monsters too.
Okay, I'm coming. We'll be back to stuff these in a few minutes. Well, that you're gonna have to wait for. They're done. Oh my goodness, can you hear the sizzle? So there we go, a nice big tray of beautifully bubbling stuffed peppers that are gonna be so absolutely delicious. And I mean, I still have some, I could have done like, bought another pepper because I still have some leftover mix, but I'm sure Jake will eat that up before he goes to work. So there we got 2, 4, 6, 8 stuffed peppers out of our measly half a chicken breast and 1 sausage, mixed in with about somewhere around 1.5 to 2 cups of cooked rice and leftover salsa, a jar of salsa, and some taco seasoning. I always sprinkle the taco seasoning on there just to give a little more in that flavor. So that's it, guys. I hope that you have found a useful recipe that you can incorporate into your home with some of your leftovers, and hopefully not throw out any food, because you know it ain't cheap these days, like everything else. By the way, if you've tried my homemade iced coffee, I put whipped cream on it this time, and it's even better. I still don't have a liqueur to stick in it, because that would just like top notch right there. If you missed that video, seriously check out the homemade iced coffee, because I've been having it every day. So if you like this video, then give us a thumbs up, share us with your friends, or consider subscribing. Thanks.